Hello YouTubers, and welcome to my video analysing Emily Remler's guitar solo on the song Mistreated but Undefeated Blues from the Ray Brown Trio album Soular Energy, recorded in 1984. Here's a transcription of the head plus Emily's solo. I'm not going to talk about the head section much at all, other than that, although it's credited to Ray Brown, I suspect it was the trio that composed the song together. This video is really just analysing Emily's solo, and I think it's a really good solo if you're new to Emily's guitar playing or you want to try and emulate Emily's sound, get some of her licks and phrases. This is a really good place to start. It's just got some classic Emily-isms, if you want to call them that, in there, and some typical things that she does. So I'll be playing a Gibson 330 like Emily does, plugged into a Blues Junior. This 330 is also equipped with humbuckers, so for some of the demos as I talk through the video. So we're first going to start with the first 16 bar section, which is a stop chorus type thing. It's in the key of C, so this isn't a 12 bar blues section yet. This is just going back and forth between G chords, D chords and C chords and that sort of thing. And we'll just look at each phrase. The first phrase is just walking up a C minor 7 arpeggio with this da-da-da-da rhythm. The second phrase, the first note there is really just a ghost that she slides from into that A. Now that E flat is an interesting note in that she bends it. It's not common for bebop players to do a lot of bending, but I guess this is a blues, so she's bending that E flat from a D. The next phrase is over a G7 chord, and what she does is she uses both thirds, the B flat and the B natural, which is a classic blues, rock and jazz thing to do. So she does it up the top and down here at the end of the phrase. The next 2 bar phrase is just a repeating triplet slide thing. So she really slides that B flat to the B natural. Don't be tempted to slur it by hammering it on or picking everything. That's not what she does. She slides into those B naturals. Okay, the next 2 bar phrase, this is a classic Remler-ism. Right, where she plays this double stop, then the E flat to the C, the E flat to the E. And one of the things she does is she accents the first and the second double stop, and then really in the next bar the accent's on the that one, the E, G pair of notes. The next phrase, another classic Emlerism, not much to talk about there, it's just a classic blues phrase that she does. The next 2 bar phrase, she slides into that first pair of notes. And yeah, that's all again. I think she's thinking a G7 chord there. And the final phrase in this stop chorus, don't play these notes too straight. What she does is she puts a little bit of air between each note as she walks up from the B to the, well, she's walking to the E of the start of the next phrase. So let's get on to the next phrase. And this is where the 12 bar forms actually start. So this is a 12 bar blues. The first phrase is really just finishing off the phrase that she walked up to start the phrase, to start the blues. Now again, this B flat in the next phrase, she bends that from the A. You can hear her come down off that bend. The next phrase is a classic rhythmic displacement thing that she does a lot, where she comes up with a 3-note phrase that she repeats. In fact, we're going to see one later in the solo, where she just plays a pattern a couple of times that is on the beat, off the beat kind of thing. The next phrase, that E flat that she plays, she's just ghosting that again. It's just a note to slide into the F from. The next phrase, now this is a really cool little thing she does here. She's going to pedal on that A for a while. she slides into it each time. And she really goes to that last A at the end there. Now the next 3 notes belong to the following 12-bar block, so let's move on. So she walks up to the following 12-bar block. Again, she's got this big slide. Now, she's got this pattern that she just plays over and over and over. And she comes down off of it. So I play this in the 10th position, so first finger in the 10th fret, and that E flat is under my second finger on the top string, and then the C on the second string under my little finger. Now in this position, she ends up with the first finger on that A, and slides that A down to the 8th position G, to get that final phrase to resolve that whole thing. Big long phrase. The next 3 notes belong to the next thing. Now this is a classic Emily Remlerism, where she plays this double stop. So F and C on the 13th fret with your little finger. Well, she might be using a third. She's got pretty big hands. And then she repeats the phrase with just a rhythmic displacement of that first note. And then another classic, she pedals that C on the top of this. I think she got that from Pat Martino. Now she gets another one of these rhythmic displacement things where she's going to play the F, F sharp, G as a triplet, and then just sit on that G. But what she's really doing is doing that Chuck Berry thing where she slides from the F sharp to the G and then plays the alternate G on the other string. And then what she does is she, I don't know, quantizes it. How would you describe this? She moves from the triplets to doing the same thing but in 8th note patterns. So she's got a 3-note long pattern of 8th notes. So she gets this displacement thing happening across the beat, which is really cool, and she does that a lot. If you analyse her solos, you'll find her doing that all the time. Now the next 2 notes is where she moves into the octaves, and this is a classic Emily thing to do, to start your solo playing some single note lines and then move into playing octaves to finish your solo. Those 2 notes really belong to the next phrase, so we'll move on. So it's to the B flat C C, and then the C to the E flat as a sort of question and answer type thing. Now she slides into the B flat, into the C again, and then classic Emily Remler kind of thing to do there, to have that sort of repeating pattern in the octaves sort of thing. So that's just a quick analysis of her solo over that tune. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave some comments below.